I will never forget the day my mom came out to me. I was 14 years old. We lived in South Minneapolis. We had just moved there from Bismarck, North Dakota. And she sat me down in our table in our living room, and the house was really quiet, which was surprising because I have a bunch of siblings. And she sat me down and she said, "Hey, can we chat?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay, Mom, what's up?" And she said, "Have you ever noticed how my friends tend to come in pairs? You know, like Barb and Ann and Joy and Marlene." And something just kind of like this light bulb went off. And then she proceeded to tell me that her roommate was actually her partner, and she was gay. And came out to me. And I was 13, 14 years old, and I didn't know any gay people. Whoop. Should I step forward or back? It was the early 90s, and so there weren't any gay folks on television. This was like before Will and Grace, before the L Word, before Ellen, and this was before the internet. So I didn't know any gay folks, and it was a bit of a shock. And once I kind of processed it and wrapped my head around it, it was amazing because I got to spend my whole teenage years surrounded by all this incredible queer community, all these amazing lesbians who were role models and mentors and friends and family. And they're still family. And when I came out a few years later, I already had this whole network of support. And so I started QUEERSPACE Collective just in April of 2021. And our mission is to create space for LGBTQ+ youth to feel safe and empowered to be their true selves. We provide mentorship, and we also do a lot of inclusivity training to help create more inclusive spaces for young queer and trans youth, kind of in all the spaces where they show up. And I'll never forget, one of the kids that I met early days of our programming, I drove out to this kind of smaller town. We're in the Twin City metro area, but it's really broad. And so I go out to this smaller town, and I knock on the door, and this young person comes, and he's trans, and he's around, I think probably about 13, 14, 15. His mom had referred him into our program because she was really worried about him, and she felt like if he had a mentor or a better support system, then he would do a lot better, like mentally and in school. And so he opens the door, and he's wearing like blue jeans and a t-shirt, and and is kind of like nervous about seeing me. And we chat for a few minutes, and I tell him about our mentorship program, and I tell him, if he wants to connect with a mentor, he can sign up, and then they'll hang out in the community a few times a month, and it'll just be another support for him. And Mom was really excited, and he was like, "Yeah, I could try that." So I come back a few weeks later, and I have a mentor this time, and he answers the door again, and this time he's wearing like this cute little mini skirt and like a belly shirt, and I was a little confused because I'm like, okay, here's this kid who was female assigned at birth, but identifies as a boy, and now has this gender expression of what we would, kind of consider more of a girl expression, right? Which then makes you kind of question these whole social gender constructs. And it kind of sat with me, and then a few weeks later, like something just again kind of clicked in my brain, and I understood on this deeper level how he was just showing up as himself and how he wanted to express himself. And in some days he might, wear jeans, and other days he might wear skirts, and some days he might wear a baseball cap. And he was like the best person to really teach me that we all get to show up however we want, and young people get to show up however they want, and our job is just to support them along the journey. And he was just amazing. We work with a lot of parents too. They refer their kids in. A lot of them have come up to me and said, like, "I'm so grateful for your program. I'm so grateful that there are adults willing to participate in my kid's life." One mom said that she feels like she hadn't seen her son for a really long time, and that after having a mentor for about 6 months, she feels like she sees him again and she's not worried about him anymore. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be here. I love being out in spaces, especially these queer and trans and LGBTQ plus inclusive spaces where we're really celebrating our community. Thank you for having us here, and yeah, thanks, Jennifer. Appreciate y'all. Take care.